Hi guys, I'm going to be filming a tutorial on how to use all the different tools in Photoshop. Part 1 here, where we're going to go over all the tools here in the left menu bar. I won't linger too much, so I don't want to waste your time. We're going to start off with the first tool there. It's the marquee tools. There's 4 of them. Rectangle, circle, and then single row. So the way they work is you use them to draw, rectangular or circular selections. If I hold down shift, I will do a square selection. If I let go of shift, I'm not constrained to the proportions. Let's see. You can also, if you hold down shift now, you can draw over it and they'll overlap like this. You can change to have parts, the selection delete the whole thing or add on to it. So if I did let me see, sorry. If I selected subtract from selection and then do the circle inside, that would get rid of the selection in there, presumably. It didn't really do that, but it should have. That is how it's supposed to work. This is the pointer tool, the move tool. You use it to move your layer around. Very basic. If you hold down show transform tools, you can use the rectangular edge boundary thingies to toggle the size. If you hold down shift, it'll do it proportionately. If you let go of shift, it will let you do whatever you want. I'm just going to control Z all that back there. And then next one we have is here the lasso, polygonal lasso, and magnetic lasso. Lassos are also used to make selections. The normal lasso, you just kind of draw whatever organic abstract shape you want to trace. And my hardest thing is connecting the dots at the end. I never connect the dots properly. But once it's connected, there we go. You have your weird selection and you can do whatever you want with it. You can use the move tool to move that part of your selection. In this case, nothing's selected, it's an empty part of the layer, but if it was colored in, if I colored it in black and then use the move tool, I could move around my selection. That's what that's good for. The polygonal is lines, so you select using lines like this instead of freehand curves. Again, just connect the dots at the end if you can and you've got your selection. And then the last one, the magnetic lasso, traces around the parts of a layer. So let's say I drew a weird shape using my rectangular tool, right? And I colored that in, and then I used my lasso, my magnetic lasso, to trace it. I just kind of roughly freehand around the edges, and it's supposed to catch those edges and trace around them. The only thing is it's not very clean. Watch when I delete that and undo the selection, you'll see parts of it were still left there because it didn't do the best job at that. It's kind of cool if you want jagged edges though, I guess, on a frame or something. I'm sure someone could find use for it somewhere. Next up, we've got the quick selection tool and magic wand tool. I really love the magic wand. For the most part, it can do most of your rendering for you, whatever you need it to do. You click a part, it'll delete it for you. If you lower the tolerance down, it's more careful with the shades it selects, so it'll just select the white part there, you see. But if I set the tolerance to a ridiculously high number, 50 instead of 10, and I selected the white, look, it's selecting just more of it. I select 200, and then I try to select that black or that white, it'll select the whole thing. Actually, with black and white, it's not gonna do that, but here, look, the gray, it didn't unselect those little icons in the middle, even though they're obviously different shades of gray. 50 Shades of Gray. Moving on. Next, crop tool, pretty obvious. You crop your canvas, you can add on to your canvas. gives you a preview of what your canvas will look like. You can use shift, again, to constrain your proportions and make it a square canvas. Press enter and it will put your crop into effect. Next, eyedropper tool. Hold it down, hold it over your colors, and it will change colors to what you want. There we go. So if you, well, this is like such a boring black and white canvas here, but if I had color here, you would be able to select colors, and then you can, like, for example, like an easy way to make a palette, let's say, is you take a picture, just like a random picture. Let's use my really bad Lil Wayne tag, which is super low quality right now. So let's say I want to make a palette out of that. Easy way to do it is you use the eyedropper tool, you click a color you like, square, hold down shift, color it in on its own layer, on its own layer, and you do that for a couple squares, you have a palette. Very simple, very easy. Next thing is the healing brush tool, the patch tool, spot healing brush tool, content aware move tool, and red eye tool. Red eye, of course, is to get rid of red eyes. Spot healing and healing are good for, like, when you want to remove blemishes off of your skin. You want to get rid of, like, that one pimple or that one annoying, like, smudge somewhere. You would use those tools for it. Next, this is super helpful: brush tool, pencil tool, color replacement, and mixer brush. I haven't used these two before, so I'm gonna have to test them out sometime and tell you how they work. Brush tool, you click it, you draw, and if you right click with your mouse, you can change your brushes right there, and oh look, you can draw, and then you can change brush, and you can draw again, and yay. Pencil tool is what you would, oops, I deleted my whole layer. Let's do that again. Pencil tool is a little more harsh on the edges. Like when I made my pixel snow tutorial, I used the pencil tool. It's more precise. As you see, you get like you get pixels. You don't get like fuzziness around the edges with a pencil tool. It just gives you the just gives the pixels. Okay. Yay, snow. Next we've got the clone stamp and pattern stamp tool. Clone stamp is really helpful. You use it to, you can again use it to like remove blemishes, or to like recolor some things. So if I had like something blue here, and then let me select a better brush. So let's say I drew something blue, and then I draw something that is another shade of blue. Oh look, like that. And then there's like this random splotch of another color in the middle, like that I want to get rid of. I would use my clone stamp tool, pick like a small one here, hold down the Alt key, which gives you the plus sign, click on the blue, and then look, when you drag it down there, it'll cover it in your blue that you've created there. And then you would click on the dark blue and trace around this edge. And this is like a really imperfect job of it, but you see what it's doing. Alright. It just hid that white, it's gone. Next up, paint bucket. You use it, I mean, if you've used paint, you know what the paint bucket tool does. You use it, you paint large areas. Pattern, the paint bucket, you can paint like this, or you can paint patterns. So if you like select a pattern and you paint that, it would paint the pattern. You can also use this for the gradients, so you would create a gradient, and then you could like set that to a different layer mode, and like, look, now I have a blue toolbar instead of a gray one. So gradients and paint bucket tool. Next up, we have blur, sharpen, smudge, really helpful when you're making signatures or large pieces, really helpful when you are photo manipulating, when you're touching up your photos, you want to blur something or you want to sharpen something, really easy. Smudge, a lot of it is used for signatures to just help blending. So these are just blending tools, really, all three of them. Next up is this, which is dodge, burn. These are good for lighting. So those are your blending tools. These are good for lighting. When you burn something, it darkens it. When you dodge, it kind of lightens it or adds highlight to it. Think of it like, if you do makeup, think of it like highlighter and bronzer to contour things. I've never used a sponge tool. I don't know what it does. This is the pen tool and all of its different parts. The pen tool could be like a whole 3-hour lesson in its own, so we're not even going to go in there and tell you what it does. It does everything. People use it to make renders, people use it to make line art, people use it to draw, maybe not draw, but people use it to trace around things, make all sorts of cool shapes, lots of cool things. I love the pen tool. Text tool here, you can write. What you can also do is take the pen tool, for example, and draw a curve, and then text along the curve. Oh, well, that was a little too far, but yay, now I'm slanted. Okay, so text tool. Next up, almost done, path selection. You use it to click on a path, and then you modify that path, and it is great. Yeah, you just click on a path, it does things. Next, rectangle, rounded, ellipse, polygon, line, and custom shape. I love the custom shapes that it comes with. You get a lot of different options. If you take a look up here, you can draw an arrow. You can draw a heart, a big heart. You can draw lots of different things. Now I have Argyle, instant Argyle print wherever I want it. It's great. And each of those shapes is on its own layer, which is nice. Next up, oh my gosh, I'm probably out of time soon. We're almost done. This is the hand tool. Very similar to a move tool, except it's going to move the entire canvas. Kind of just take it and grab it and throw it around. It just moves your entire canvas for you. Next and last is the zoom tool. Alternatively accessed by pressing Z, and you zoom in and you zoom out. And I don't know why there's a note there. Blah, 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 blah. Yay, fun. That note, by the way, was from, it's one of the newer tools. It's hidden here somewhere, here. Where you have the eyedropper, you have the ruler and the note tools. I've never used the ruler or the note tool. The ruler seems like it just measures things for you, so let's see, let's zoom in first. So if I click on the ruler tool, and for some reason I was desperate to know how wide this toolbar is, I could just trace along it, and then it would tell me that it is 0.991 whatever unit of measurement we're using, inches, I guess, or pixels. No, not pixels, inches. Okay, that's that. Colors. Yeah. Okay, so I think one last thing left now is the background and foreground. So here we go. Background, you can change it. Foreground is the top one, background is the back one. You can press that little switchy button to switch between them. That is literally all I have to tell you. We're done with this entire toolbar. Oh, nothing's happening. Okay, so this just changes the view. It's weird. I don't really see the point of it. And this is to give you black and white for your foreground and background. Thanks for watching. I'll upload a little picture with the tool names and shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts for you guys along with this video. I'm done. Thanks. Bye.